family members with outside as the area around their house is being fumigated by Kenyan officers in Kibera slums, Nairobi. The fumigation process is being done in a bid to cut the spread of the coronavirus. So this is one of the photos that I took in 2020 during the peak of the coronavirus pandemic when I was walking around the community. And at the time, the government was doing a nationwide fumigation process. And I wanted to see how they were going to navigate inside the communities. So while I was walking among the army officers, I saw this family that was removed outside of their house so that the place around their house can be fumigated and also inside the house. My name is Gordwin Odhiambo, and I'm a documentary photographer based in Nairobi, Kenya. My work, I started photography in 2015 around my community, and I wanted to show how I grew up myself. And most of my personal work relates to me growing up in Kibera and how it affects the people. Let me say, how it resonates. I wanted my photos to resonate with me as a person growing up there. So most of them are just about that. And I do a lot of community photography work, which is like going into the centers and trying to create content, even for volunteering purposes. But at the end of the day, these are stories that I'm telling to the world. So that's mostly of what my photography is about. Going into the community, telling the beautiful stories, and also telling the stories that should be highlighted for assistance in one way or the other. Being featured among photographers that were on the ground during the pandemic in a book that is so momentous, especially in a time like this. I feel good. Yeah, I was surprised like that I was picked, but it is what it is. Yeah, I feel good. Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to having the book in my hands. Yes. First and foremost, I love my photos to tell stories that move conversations forward. It's not just those are my best photos that move the stories forward. That's why I like maybe sometimes shooting in series and highlighting everything that is in there. So for me, photography, telling the real stories and also moving the conversation forward, because I believe that photography should be part of most things like community development activities, because visuals provide a good insight for people who are looking to maybe venture into communities and try to do something. Yes, there were mixed reactions because we did not know what we were going to face. So for me, even during the pandemic, I did not know that I was going to be outside. I was lucky to be an assistant to someone who was doing a lot of activities. So I also saw what was happening. I was lucky enough to be in an environment where there were constructive aspects amidst the pandemic. And luckily, or I don't know if unluckily, that's what it ended up to be. Like the whole project ended up to be a constructive one. It could have been either way. Like now I could have been having other kind of photos telling other different stories. So it was all judged by the pandemic, and I just do what I see, and also through my visuals, just try to say, this is what's happening here.